A-Ren had just sealed a jaw-dropping 300 million deal when his phone rang. The boss, no greeting, just ice. Is that a cigarette butt on the table? Pick it up now, let's go. A-Ren's heart skipped. Then he remembered. Yesterday, that man's arrogance. This has nothing to do with my big brother, he said coldly. And after today, you won't be doing business in the mainland. A-Ren reacted instantly. He realized the boss had sent him to handle the other side. So he forced a smile, bent down, picked up the cigarette butt on the stage, and delivered a ruthless lesson to his business partner. But the very next day, everything collapsed. A squad of police stormed the scene without warning. With a single gesture from Officer Yang, A-Ren slowly lowered the cigarette butt. He never imagined these officers were summoned by his own boss to arrest him. Within minutes, he was dragged back to the station and beaten. Officer Huang's face was grim, unreadable. That expression alone caught Officer Yang's attention. In that instant, Yang became even more convinced. A-Ren was Huang's undercover spy. With A-Ren and his partner Shen Liang both detained, the two bosses rushed to the station at the same time to pull strings. The atmosphere turned explosive. Shadows overlapped everywhere. The Hong Kong police moved with terrifying efficiency. Let's make this quick. He beat you like that. You filing a complaint? If not, sign. Shen Liang glanced at the reconciliation letter, then threw it to the ground without hesitation. That meant he was pressing charges. But one message from Big Brother Shen Chung changed everything. Shen Liang slowly picked it up and signed. Then Officer Yang turned to A-Ren again. I beat you like that. You want to complain? Let's go. Wait, do you recognize me? I do. Be careful. Under Chilo Luo's open threat, A-Ren simply smiled and walked past him. What he didn't know was that Officer Yang's sketch artist had his own hidden agenda. The moment A-Ren stepped outside, Brother Chen had already set the bait, waiting for him to bite. Silly Chang watched with greedy excitement, almost drooling, convinced A-Ren was about to rise to the throne. But the very next day, everything shifted again. Brother Chen showed up and with his enemy, looking for A-Ren. One small gesture from Chen and a pack of young men stormed in. Just as they were about to drag A-Ren away, only Silly Chang found the courage to step forward, throwing himself in front of him without hesitation. Brother Chen, you're just letting them take A-Ren like this? Why ask him why they smashed his head? Silly Chang had no idea. Every second of this had been arranged by Brother Chen. He didn't offer A-Ren a single explanation. But Silly Chang could see it clearly now. Chen was using him to test loyalty. Without another word, Chang grabbed a bottle of wine and poured it straight over A-Ren's head. A brutal show of allegiance. That's the world they live in. Half a king is half a tiger. As a little brother, you never truly know what your boss is thinking. When trouble hits, you're the one shoved forward to take the blame, or step in front of the knife. And just like that, Brother Chen and Shen Cheng calmly continued their conversation, as if nothing had happened. As if A-Ren hadn't just been humiliated. Because from the very beginning, A-Ren was only a test, a way for Chen to measure the other side's limits. Brother Chen never trusted his so-called partner, Shen Cheng. During his quiet investigation, he uncovered Shen Cheng's past, built on smuggling from the ground up. Shen Liang even claimed their mainland operations were protected by high-ranking officials. A man with that kind of backing suddenly offering cooperation? It sounded too perfect. So when Shen Cheng approached him with business, Brother Chen didn't relax, he grew cautious. On the surface, the two agreed to smuggle arms together. But behind the scenes, Chen handed the money to A-Ren to manage. Another test. He planned to use A-Ren again, to see if Shen Cheng was truly reliable. Soon the transaction day arrived. Their first arms deal together. A-Ren led his crew to the exchange point. In the middle of the operation, he secretly tapped out Morse code, slipping the exact location to Officer Huang. If the shipment went through smoothly, A-Ren could finally return to the police force. But he never expected Brother Chen to betray him again. According to the deal, Chen was supposed to receive the arms and complete the exchange with Shen Cheng. But when the shipment arrived, the box was empty. In that split second, A-Ren understood. He'd been played by his own boss again. Rage exploded at the dock. Brother Chen, that's tens of millions in weapons. Give them back. I don't even know who they are. They're not easy to mess with. What if it's a trap? Who fed you that? My fate did. And if it's not? If it's not, we return it and cooperate. Anyway, A-Ren's already dead, right? A-Ren stepped forward, eyes cold, ready to fight. I've died twice already. At the same time, Officer Yang had already seen through Brother Chen's scheme. He made a shocking call. Cancel the operation tonight? Do you even know what you're saying? It's an order from above. From above? Or from you? I don't owe you an explanation. I've been investigating Han Chen for years. You should explain your relationship with him. That's classified by our security department. If you want answers, go to the station. Ask the deputy chief yourself. Outside the room, Officer Huang's undercover was listening to every word. He couldn't just sit there anymore. But Officer Yang's voice turned grave. This case is far more complicated than you think. I'm afraid only a handful of high-ranking officials know the real truth. At the same time, A-Ren and Shen Cheng were still locked in a deadly standoff at the wharf. Then they fired at the exact same moment. Shen Cheng took a bullet to the leg. A-Ren was hit in the arm. Whoever dropped their weapon first would die. Through the pain, Shen Cheng stared at him. Why aim at my leg? Why not my waist? That's not how the triads shoot. Because neither of them had aimed for the waist. Police training doesn't teach you to kill with one shot to the torso. It teaches control. And that single detail exposed the truth. Neither of them were true gangsters. They were both undercover. Just then, backup forces arrived. And suddenly, Officer Yang rushed onto the scene. For a split second, A-Ren thought salvation had come. He was wrong. I'm sorry, Officer Yang said calmly. I'm a cop. I just fired a shot. Let me save one more bullet. What did you say? You're a cop? Yes, I was the worst at writing reports in the academy. If I kill you too, I can write whatever I want. The words froze A-Ren's blood. This was the end. But in the next second, a gunshot. Shen Cheng pulled the trigger. Because his true identity was never an arms dealer. He was undercover too, just like A-Ren. And Officer Yang? He wasn't undercover at all. He had been following orders from powerful officials, secretly exchanging information with Brother Chen, manipulating both sides, and in the end, he made sure Brother Chen's entire plan collapsed. A-Ren's undercover identity was never exposed by Brother Chen, and in that twisted, blood-soaked environment, the three of them formed a rare kind of friendship. But Officer Yang still had a question for A-Ren. You never answered me last time. I asked if you recognized me. In 1991 at the police academy. If you hadn't left, I would never have won the top honor. The words hit hard. Suddenly, A-Ren remembered the day he was expelled from the academy. The colleague who quietly opened the door for him. He ran. That was Officer Yang. After A-Ren left, Yang took the Best Cadet Award. Everything had shifted from that moment. Now many viewers say Infernal Affairs 3 is confusing, but that's only because they're watching it in the wrong order. If you follow the correct sequence, the story becomes razor sharp. The proper viewing order is 2-1-3. That's why in the first film, A-Ren is already operating at a high level. After A-Ren was killed by another undercover, Officer Yang took charge of hunting down the remaining moles. And psychological warfare, that was his specialty. When Chen Jun's identity was exposed, Officer Yang made one subtle move. A tiny calculated mistake, and Chen Jun ended up shooting himself. That entire moment was witnessed by Liu Jianmin. From that point on, Liu Jianmin believed Officer Yang was just like him, willing to kill without hesitation to protect his identity. And with Yang's sharp instincts and relentless observation, he soon began to suspect that Liu Jianmin might be one of the remaining undercovers. So Officer Yang moved fast. He quietly set a trap with Shen Cheng. If Liu Jianmin had a guilty conscience, he would walk straight into it. But at the same time, Liu Jianmin was secretly investigating Officer Yang. One day, Liu deliberately parked beside Yang's car, calm, precise, dressed in a sharp suit. He bent down and slipped a tracker underneath it. Why had Officer Yang suddenly fired that shot before? Fortunately, Liu reacted quickly. Every time Yang approached, Liu put on a stiff, harmless expression, like a loyal knight with nothing to hide. But in Officer Yang's eyes, it looked almost theatrical, because Yang had already planted his own tracker. Step by step, Liu Jianmin was drifting exactly where Yang wanted him. Then Liu escalated things. He installed a hidden camera inside Officer Yang's office, watching his every move. What Liu never imagined was this. Officer Yang was already counter-monitoring him. Deliberately, Yang opened the safe and pulled out a box of tapes. Then he calmly left the station with it. Through the tracker, Liu followed him. He watched as Yang slipped the tape into a mailbox. Panic surged. Liu feared that tape contained proof of his calls with Brother Chen. And if that evidence surfaced, he was finished. Liu Jianmin burned the mailbox. But that single move exposed his foxtail. Xinseng noticed it too. As the investigation into Liu Jianmin's identity deepened, one person became crucial. A-Ren's girlfriend, Dr. Li. She was a psychologist, and she observed something disturbing. Every time Liu Jianmin came into contact with A-Ren's belongings, his behavior shifted, subtle, uneasy, wrong. That was enough. Dr. Li began to suspect that A-Ren's death was connected to Liu Jianmin. So she set her own trap, not with guns, but with the mind. She deliberately dressed like A-Ren and approached Liu Jianmin. She talked about A-Ren's life in detail, pulling him step by step into A-Ren's inner world. Slowly, she blurred the line between memory and reality. Then she called him. Over the phone, she played a recording from A-Ren's life. Liu Jianmin froze. For a moment, he thought he was hallucinating. His mental state began to crack. His psychological defenses started collapsing. How could he hear the voice of a dead man? Then Dr. Li called again. Calmly, she asked why he hadn't spoken just now. That question pushed him further into doubt. Now Liu Jianmin truly believed something was wrong with his mind. Then Dr. Li told him A-Ren had mailed him a box of tapes. Liu Jianmin froze. If those tapes contained recordings of his calls with Chen, he was finished. Guilt took over. He rushed out to retrieve it. What he didn't realize was that every step had been calculated by Dr. Li. The envelope was marked 2749, A-Ren's badge number. It couldn't possibly be Dr. Li's address. But Liu was too panicked about the tapes to notice something so obvious. They agreed to bring the tape to the police. On the way to the car, Liu deliberately caused a collision. In the chaos, he quietly snatched the tape away. After that, they went to the hospital. By then, Liu Jianmin was unraveling. He began hallucinating, imagining he was calmly talking to A-Ren, as if nothing had ever happened. Then suddenly, he pulled a gun on him. But in reality, he was alone in the pouring rain. And Dr. Li recorded everything. In that moment, Liu seemed to understand, or thought he did. Then Dr. Li brought him back to her clinic. She hypnotized him, just like she once did with A-Ren. She told a simple story about a child stealing snacks, guiding him gently, patiently toward confession. I can finally be a real person, Liu murmured. Do you believe me? I believe you, she said softly. When did you start working for the underworld? I don't want to join the underworld. I want to be a good person. I never expected I'd meet Mary. Your wife? Han Chen's woman. I never wanted to be Han Chen's man. Suddenly, the sharp ring of a bell shattered the silence. Liu Jianmin flinched. In that instant, he understood there was no turning back. So he knocked Dr. Li unconscious. And that was when his mind truly split. He fell completely into A-Ren's inner world. He began treating himself as A-Ren. Even the reflection in the mirror was no longer his own. It was A-Ren staring back. His personality fractured. In his delusion, Officer Yang became Liu Jianmin. His surveillance of Yang spiraled into obsession, into madness. He even urinated in Officer Yang's water container. Colleagues collapsed after drinking it. Using the chaos, Liu slipped into Officer Yang's office. Following the sequence recorded by the hidden monitor, he carefully unlocked the safe. What he didn't know was that every move had already been anticipated. "Officer Liu," a voice called out coldly. "Did you enjoy yourself in my office?" By then, Liu Jianmin had the tape in his hands, and Officer Yang knew it was time to close the net. He returned to the station, waiting for Liu to walk in and surrender. Instead, Liu Jianmin brought fellow officers to arrest Officer Yang. At that very moment, Shen Cheng arrived as well, because he too had helped plan this entire operation. But when Liu Jianmin finally played the tape, the voice inside was his own. It was the call between him and Brother Chen. "Officer Liu, aren't you going to help me?" "No, the pressure's getting heavy lately. Give me 3 days. I'll decide after I figure things out." "Liu Jianmin, this is your last chance." "I'm not listening to you." "What are you doing?" "Liu Jianmin is over there." "I said I'm not listening. Didn't I tell you I'd arrest him? Why are you helping him?" Then another recording echoed through the room. The tape Officer Yang had found in Liu's place. "You've made things too complicated. Brother Chen, the police are always tailing me. If he didn't die, I would've. I'm in charge now. If you want to move, tell me first. The moment you killed that cop today, you dragged me in with you. Enough, shut up." The recording Shen Cheng played sealed everything. Brother Chen had always kept recordings, a habit revealed back in the first film. Now the evidence against Liu Jianmin was undeniable, and his mind finally snapped. Meanwhile, Officer Yang stood untouched beyond punishment. The same words he once said to A-Ren echoed again. "I told you to be careful." "Why should I be careful?" Liu shouted. "I'm a good man. Why should I be careful? I worked so hard. I helped you kill. I killed Han Chen's undercover. Why won't you give me a chance? Why won't you give me a chance? I just want to be a good man. Why won't you give me a chance? Say it." "I'm sorry. I'm a cop. I'm sorry. I'm a cop." Officer Yang's words sliced straight through Liu Jianmin's last nerve. Gunfire erupted. Officer Yang and Shen Cheng both shot Liu Jianmin, but neither bullet struck a vital point. Then a shot cracked through the chaos. Officer Yang dropped, dead on the spot. Liu Jianmin raised the gun to his own neck and pulled the trigger. But he didn't die. The bullet lodged inside his brain. He survived, barely. For the rest of his life, he would be trapped in a wheelchair, and that ending echoed the core theme of Infernal Affairs. The invisible never truly die. The invisible never die.